Hello and welcome everyone. So in this video, I'll tell you a little bit about chronic pyelonephritis. This is an important topic for practical exams and also sometimes can be asked in the theory. So you need to know how to draw a diagram of chronic pyelonephritis, the histodiagram. So chronic pyelonephritis is a chronic tubulointerstitial disease of the kidney. So it affects the tubules as well as the interstitium of the kidney, and generally recurrent attacks of acute pyelonephritis, they lead to chronic pyelonephritis, and it is a scarring disease of the kidneys, causes the increased fibrosis in the kidney because there is chronic inflammation and later on there is fibrosis. And two major factors are responsible for the pathogenesis of chronic pyelonephritis. First, most important is reflux nephropathy or vesico-ureteral reflux, and second is chronic obstruction. So, because of these, there are the recurrent attacks of acute pyelonephritis, and that can later cause chronic pyelonephritis. And there is an inflammation of the pelvic-calyceal system. So, pelvis, calyces, they all are involved in the inflammation, and also the interstitium. Now, to draw the diagram of chronic pyelonephritis, we know it's a chronic inflammation of tubules, interstitium, and there are certain fibrotic changes that are seen in chronic pyelonephritis. Chronically, the kidney is contracted, scarred, and it is irregular. It is having irregular surface, and there is distortion of the pelvic calyceal system. Now, in microscopy, to draw the diagram, we need to know these basic facts about chronic pyelonephritis, and just four components are there to draw the diagram of chronic pyelonephritis. First, number one, as you can see, is tubules. So it is a tubulointerstitial disease. So in the tubules, what happens? The tubules, they are atrophied and they are dilated, and they are filled with this pinkish material which resembles the colloid of a thyroid follicle. That's why it is also known as colloid cast. And these tubules containing the colloid cast, they are known as being thyroidized. So there is thyroidization of the tubules. This is called the thyroidization of tubules. This you need to know, many times asked in the viva. So the tubules, dilated atrophied tubules containing the colloid cast, they are showing thyroidization. This is the first thing. So you have to make dilated ducts. They are lined by the flattened epithelium, and inside that there is the colloid cast. So this is the first component. Then the second component is the interstitium, and I told you that this is a tubulointerstitial disease. The inflammation is also seen in the interstitium. So in the interstitium, the chronic inflammatory infiltrate will be seen, since it is chronic pyelonephritis. There will be lymphocytes and plasma cells. So for making lymphocytes, you make the nucleus, so having a condensed clumped chromatin, and then you can also make plasma cells. The plasma cells, they are having a eccentric nucleus, and which is basophilic with clock face chromatin. So they clock face or cartwheel chromatin. So the chromatin is clumped at the periphery in the form of the face of the clock, and then there is perinuclear Hoff, and the basophilic cytoplasm is there. So this is how we make the plasma cells. And thirdly, the blood vessels, they are obliterated, and there is fibrosis around the blood vessel and hyalinization around the blood vessels. So you have to make these blood vessels in the interstitium. And lastly, the glomeruli. So in the early stages, the glomeruli, they are uninvolved, but in the late stages, the glomeruli, they show fibrosis around them. So that is known as periglomerular fibrosis. And later on, the glomeruli, they also show the sclerosis. They also show the sclerosis or fibrosis within. So in this image, you can see the sclerosed glomeruli or the fibrosed. So the mesangium is also showing fibrosis, and this progressively will lead to ultimately the renal insufficiency. So these are the four things that you have to make in the diagram of chronic pyelonephritis. Now let's see how we make this diagram. So first of all, we make the tubules. So we make the tubules, these dilated tubules having a flattened lining. The normal lining is cuboidal epithelium. Here it is flattened. They are dilated, atrophied and flattened. and inside them you have to make this pinkish eosinophilic colloid-like material, also known as colloid cast, and this is known as the thyroidization of the tubules. Now next we come to the second component, that is the interstitial inflammation composed of lymphocytes and plasma cells. So you make lymphocytes and some cells with eccentric nucleus, which are plasma cells. Now thirdly, we also make the fibroblast in the interstitium, because there is fibrosis in the interstitium. So we make the spindle shaped fibroblast with elongated nucleus, and these cells have pointed ends. So these all are the fibroblasts. So there is increased fibrosis in the interstitium and fibroblast will be seen. Then we make the glomeruli with periglomerular fibrosis. So you make the pinkish fibrosis around the glomeruli, and you can make the nuclei of the fibroblast in it. Now here I am making a sclerosed glomeruli. So the sclerosed glomeruli will have the fibrosis within the glomeruli also. So there is periglomerular and the fibrosis within the glomeruli. So there is focal segmental glomerular sclerosis is a sequelae of chronic pyelonephritis. Now lastly we make a blood vessel. Now blood vessel is showing the obliteration and the wall is fibrosed and hyalinized. So now we can make more inflammation. Now lastly the labeling of this diagram. So we label all the components. First the tubules with thyroidization, and you can label the colloid cast. Thirdly, the lymphoplasmacytic infiltrate in the interstitium, then periglomerular fibrosis. Now these are the obliterated and hyalinized blood vessels, and lastly the sclerosed glomeruli. You can also label this fibroblast which are present in the interstitium, causing the increased fibrosis. So this is how you make the diagram of chronic pyelonephritis, and see this is the completed diagram, and these yellow highlighted points, they belong to the tubular changes, and the rest, the blue ones, they are the changes in the interstitium. So I hope this video will be of help to make you draw the diagram of chronic pyelonephritis in your exams. Thank you very much.